Good day and welcome back to our channel, A Whole Lot of BS.
We are excited to bring our next topic out to you guys. And drum roll, please. It is on the law of attraction.
Ooh, the law of attraction. What does the law of attraction mean to you?
Well, I wanted to read off the general definition of the law of attraction for those who don't know. So, the law of attraction is a spiritual and philosophical belief that like attracts like. It suggests that your thoughts, feelings, and beliefs emit an energetic vibration that attracts corresponding experiences, people, and opportunities into your reality. What does that mean? Well, everyone takes it a different way. So my definition of the law of attraction and what works for my life is probably different than yours, Mommy.
It probably is. I look at the law of attraction from the perspective of what we give out comes back to us. And so if you give love, you get love back.
Yeah, no, mine is, I definitely believe that part, but mine is probably more heavily on the mindset part of a positive mindset brings positive vibrations of energy, which attracts more positive outcomes in your life. So I'm very huge on that. I definitely believe that if you have negative thoughts, you're going to go into life negative, and that attracts negativity at the end of the day, right? Like attracts like. So our topic being based on the law of attraction, I really wanted to dive a little bit deeper into what that means in our lives, how we've seen it in our lives, and then maybe our viewers can get a little bit of an insight, a scoop of insight on our lives.
Yeah, that sounds good. I love that word, a scoop.
A scoop. So the first thing that I want to talk about, right, is usually when it comes to the law of attraction, right, and things that we're wanting for our lives, we have things that may be blocking it. So our limiting beliefs might be blocking us from receiving what we want. What do you think your limiting beliefs would be when it comes to the law of attraction?
That's a good question. I grew up in an era where we talked a lot about Proverbs, and Proverbs, it's not necessarily from a biblical perspective, but I spoke about this before, about money being the root of all evil. Don't hang your hat higher than you can reach. A bird in the hand is worth two in the bushes. A lot of these proverbs may have worked for persons in the past. I think that the world has changed dramatically. I think there are a lot more opportunities, given changes in technology, human interaction, migration. So some of these proverbs may not necessarily be serving us anymore. And for that reason, I have had to change my outlook on life and thinking, because I do think, as you've mentioned, like attract like. And if I want to move ahead, to be able to connect with others, to get opportunities, then I need to collaborate more. I need to be open to the universe and to understand that I can attract more positive opportunities in my life with positive thoughts.
That's really good. That's really good. And I have very good insight. So I think a huge difference for me and you is that I grew up with you. So I already got that part kind of over with, right? I honestly believe money is the root of all evil, and your hand, what is that? They're saying a hand in the bush.
A bird in your hand is worth two in the bushes. It basically means that if you've got something in your hand, now take it and run.
Oh, interesting. Yeah, wow. So I would say a limiting belief that I have is a little bit different than yours, but my limiting belief is that, so in the Bible, it talks about the faith of a mustard seed, right? So I definitely believe if you believe it, truly believe it though, is where things can happen. And I find myself having trouble with truly believing things because you always have doubts, right? And I find that if I don't truly believe, I feel like I'm blocking myself because, for example, I know we do this thing where something so small as this, where we're going through a parking lot and we're looking for the best parking spot. And we're
Mm-hmm.
like, we're going to find the best parking spot. We're going to find the best parking spot, right?
Mm-hmm.
But that little bit of disbelief in my head, I believe that blocks me from finding the best
The best
parking lot.
parking spot.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. I remember when you were a baby, if we were driving somewhere, like if I was say baby, when you were younger and we're going, let's say to your soccer game or something, you had to go through traffic lights, you would say, Mommy, green lights, green lights, green lights all the way. And it would come true.
Yeah.
We'd have green lights.
See, but that's what I mean. Like as a kid, I definitely believed harder than I do now because I feel I've seen the difference of believing and not believing. And I've seen so many things in other people's lives that don't work out. So I don't know why, but I always like, you know, when you see a situation, so you always think that same situation will happen if you're in that situation, right?
Mm-hmm.
So that's one thing that I believe would be limiting for my law of attraction.
Mm-hmm.
But on a better standpoint, what is something that you're grateful for in life right now that you may have called by law of attraction or just something you're grateful for in general?
Grateful for so many things.
Like your
And
daughter.
yeah.
I said it for you.
Thank you. I was going to say, yeah, I'm grateful for my family, for you and Daddy, Brandon, and not only that, for Trey, who is coming into our lives, and Nicole. And to me, over the years, I've come to realize that having a strong family network is so amazing. I would say from a physical perspective, from a mental perspective, statistics show adds years to your life to be able to have that connection where you can feel love, give love, and know that people care about you. I think it's underrated. And so I would say to anyone listening, take the time to connect with family. Many times there's differences of opinion. I mean, you and I, Brianna, we have differences of opinion sometimes, a lot of times. But I would say you love people, you love them unconditionally, and take the time to show people that you love them. Life is so short, and you may not get that opportunity to say it tomorrow. So, say you love them today. So to summarize what you've asked me, I'm grateful for you. Yes, my daughter,
Yes.
my son, my husband, and my daughter-in-law and son-in-law, and even my mom. My mom is still alive, and we've connected over the years, and she's just an amazing person. So it's nice to have good people around.
Yeah, yeah. Nana she's still a good looking mama too.
I know she is.
She's always up and dancing.
I know, right?
Yeah, no, I definitely agree. You may have took what I'm grateful for, but maybe to kind of spin off of it, I do really appreciate the support that I have in my life. I think that it was definitely something that I wanted a long time ago. Not necessarily family. I've always had support in family, but I found that in this last year, I've had a lot of support from friends. And along point in my life, I didn't have a huge friend group at all, and I still don't. My friend group is very small. Like I have a very like-minded circle. Everyone's in different parts of the circle, right? So not everyone knows about each other or knows each other, but it's usually the same select few that I draw to because they very much support my life as I support theirs. And I find that having a judgment-free zone is so important in life. Like the difference that it makes to have people around you that don't judge you for what you're thinking or what you're believing. Like, the amount of times that I've had friends where, again, this is past tense, where I've had friends that you say something, oh, I'm gonna retire by 33, or oh, I'm gonna make $1 million by the time I'm 35, whatever it may be. And they're like, yeah, right. And that blocked my blessing. But now I definitely have people around me that are like, you know what? Absolutely, Rhea. Of course you would think like that. And that's what I feel that we all need, right? Is people to support we say delusions until there's a saying, it's an internet saying. Okay. It's delulu till it's trulu. So you're delusional until it's true.
Oh, wow. You always teach me these things. I love it.
I'm on social media a little bit too much, but.
So what is it? You're delulu?
Till
till it
Lulu, till it's
till it's
Trulu.
true. I love it. That's
Yeah,
funny.
it's a good saying.
It,
But
it
so,
is, yeah.
well, we talked about what we're grateful for in life right now.
Mhm.
And I know this kind of goes alongside that, but what abundance already exists in our lives?
Mm. So, what exists for me is the ability to be financially stable. I have mentioned before, coming from a place of having no money and having no support from a financial perspective, and then moving into getting a good job and a great career with my organization. And because of that, been able to build wealth, which is comforting for us as a family. And it's not that wealth brings happiness, but it does provide the opportunity to live life freely, to go to a grocery store, purchase what you want to purchase, and not afraid that the debit card's going to not work or your credit card's going to bounce or something. For me, I am grateful for that. And I know it's not the same for everybody, but in my lifetime, have seen poverty. I have seen lack. And it's not easy to have that as a psychological issue hanging in the background. It's nice to be able to go into a restaurant and purchase a good dinner, feel good about it, and even bless others. I've been able to bless others through the fruits of my labor, paid forward. And sometimes I pay for someone else's dinner, or I buy somebody else coffee or something like that, which allows me to share my blessings with others as well.
Yes, yeah, I agree. I definitely agree. I am a taker of that labor of fruits. So, yes, I agree. That is awesome. I think that in situations like this is exactly what the law of attraction talks about, is where you have to sometimes look back. I'm not a past thinker. Don't get me wrong. I'm more of a future thinker, but there's times like this where you have to look back at everything that has come into your life and what you're grateful and what is working for you right now. Because if you keep looking into the future, sometimes you miss those little blessings.
Mm-hmm.
For example, if I look back at the past, right? I look, again, this is more so on my own abundance in money. I always look back at the past of where I thought I was struggling, quote unquote. If it was, oh, I wanted to pay my phone bill, or if it was, I know I would always have the support from family, but I didn't want the support because I wanted to do it on my own, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I always look back and I always think about how, wow, I was really at the time working part-time in my job and making whatever amount a week. And I was never actually struggling for money. There was always something flowing, more flowing, right? And I was always able to pay my bills. I never have once missed a bill, which I'm so grateful for. I was able to pay my mortgage at the time. I was able to pay my car gas at the time, phone bill at the time. And you really look back and it's amazing to see how, again, I'm more spiritual as well, how God really supports. Like when he says, you give me one and I'll give you 10. It's so true. And I think that's a huge blessing. That's an abundance right there. It's an abundance of blessings. And that's what I would say that already exists in my life. I have abundance of blessings and all friends. So if it's in money, love, friendship, family, I think I have an abundance of blessings that I may not always see, but I know is there and underlying. And at one point in time, I'm like, all right, that is something that I am blessed about. Even just being able to talk and see and walk and all these things, right? Like those are huge blessings. But that also leads into the law of attraction. These are positive things. Sometimes you have to look back and see what's positive, because sometimes it's really easy to get down in the dumps.
And that comes life. It's great. I agree. It also comes from having a mindset, a positive mindset. And I know people sometimes will say, well, positive, what does that mean? And you can't go around with your head in the clouds and so forth. I was actually listening to a podcast recently, and it comes from, I wrote it down, from the Mindset Mentor.
Nice.
And he challenged in his podcast us to change the way we think in 30 days by just stop complaining.
Yes. So, oh my gosh.
And I'm not a complainer, but sometimes I don't realize that I'm actually doing it, little things. So, for example, he said, you have to get up early on mornings. Well, thank God you can get up and get out of bed. Don't complain that, oh, I have to get up early. And it's so true. You get to get up, you get to step out of your bed. There are many people who can't do that. And even if they get up, then they can't see. There's so many things that we can be grateful for as opposed to complaining. So I have been doing that over the past couple weeks. And it's really bringing an awareness, being intentional as I go through the day, even at work, even little things, if the phone rings, sometimes it's like, oh, I have to answer the phone. No, I get to answer the phone. It's a customer that's calling, and it's a customer that can add value to my business. So answer the phone, be grateful it's ringing, right? And I'm enjoying the process, and I'm enjoying the month. So I thought that was a good podcast.
It's funny. I definitely agree with the complaining. Like, complaining can bring so much negative energy into your life. I think I watched the same podcast actually, and I was doing the same thing, and trying to be more aware, right? And what I realized is that a lot of the times people connect on complaining. I don't know if you've noticed this.
It's true. That's true.
Yeah, a lot of people connect. And I think, I don't want to say it's a false sense of connection, but at the same time, you're swapping negatives for negatives, right? Like, there's times where I look at say coworkers or friends or whatever it may be and be like, oh, wow, I'm just so tired. Like, and then they start going on about how they're tired because of their work or because what they did in the week and how they're drained and I'm drained and so on and so forth. And we're all having this pity party, right? But I almost think, I'm like, wow, in some scenarios with certain people, am I connecting with them as an individual, or am I connecting because of our complaining?
Good thought.
Yeah. Yeah. Once you start realizing it, it's a huge world of a difference. Like, wow, I'm really calling on this to myself because I'm choosing to interact with it. And it's bad because it's also hard to stop, because when you start complaining, like if your relationship with someone was based off of complaining, like a lot of people, they talk about, say, politics together, for example, and a lot of people tend to complain about politics together. This is like the easy example I can bring up, right?
That's true.
How people don't like how this is working, and if only they did this better, and da da da, right? If you think about it, if you were to maybe talk about the good in politics with that same exact person that you were complaining on the politics to, would they continue the positive side of thinking, or would they go back to, yeah, but they still do this, right? And you'll realize quickly that a lot of the conversations is complaining. So just a fun take that I learned.
Yeah, that's true. It's funny that we both watch the same podcast and we're not even in the same country.
Yeah. Connected. Awesome. Well, just a couple more questions I wanted to go through before we end. I want to talk about visualization, because I find that in our lives, there's definitely some good stories to tell about visualization in the law of attraction. So I'd like you to start first, because you're the one when I was younger who made me start visualizing. Yeah, I believe that when we were younger, as kids used to have imaginations and play games and so forth, and it's the innocence of being a child, right? Then as you get older, as you've mentioned, you get experiences, real world experiences, and it changes your outlook and you stop dreaming. And the part that I liked about the law of attraction, it speaks to having dream boards or a dream book or something, and putting your dreams before you so you can look at them every day and think, yeah, this is what I'm working towards. And I started doing that. And I remember I always wanted a yellow Trans Am, right? When I first got to Canada, I wanted a Trans Am, and I never really got it. Time went on and so forth. And then I switched it to, maybe I want a different type of car, a Mustang or something. And so I had a book, a photo album, and I cut out pictures of a car. I cut out pictures of what I wanted my house to look like, the kitchen, the bathroom, and so forth. And it was a fun exercise. And I believe that if I can see it,
and vision, then yeah, I'll be able to get those things. And lo and behold, I did. Now, I didn't get the yellow Mustang. I actually got a white Mustang. And then later on, I bought a black Mustang. And so for me, that was the ability to draw into my life from my vision board. What's funny is I remember I work in the bank, of course, and one year we did this exercise where we wrote down something we wanted and we put it in envelopes and we hid it in the vault. And then the next year, I actually forgot what I wrote down. Next year, they gave us back the envelopes and I opened it and I saw what I had written down. I wrote down a white Jeep Sahara and I had got it.
Yeah.
I had already bought it. And so I do believe in writing down or having a vision board, even our dream home, where the kitchen was exactly the same as what was in my dream book. So I don't think these things are coincidences. Even the fact of where I live currently in the Turks and Caicos on the beach, I actually had that on my dream board at one point to say that I'm living on the beach in a Caribbean island. And here I am. The thing I do know, though, that you have to be careful what you dream for, because yes, I dreamt I wanted to be in the Caribbean on a beach, but I didn't think of having to leave my family behind. So there's good and pros and cons and everything. And we have to understand that as you ask for things, make sure you're thinking of it from a position of love, a position of inclusiveness, and not necessarily just about me.
Right. Easy to forget the turning gears that go into your dreams, right? But you're lucky because even though your family's not there, we're still here, right?
Yeah.
And we're all still very close knit. Yeah, so I love what you said about the dream board, because honestly, like, I grew up with you, so my visualization is based on what I learned from you in the past. So based on that, I want to talk about how my visualization and what we started as like a tradition in our household with me and Trey. So me and Trey, we really started to try and make dream boards. So I don't do dream books, I do dream boards.
Okay.
And my dream board is, we try to do it every New Year's. So we'll start by cutting out pieces on the dream board and what we want for the next year. We try to keep it, I don't want to say minimal, but we try to keep it to this year. We don't try to think too far ahead, because when you think too far ahead, sometimes you can lose sight of what's right in front of you. So we try and focus on what we're planning in this year, maybe even the next year, and try and work forward to that. So what we did this year is that we cut out a lot of pieces of, I think we went online and just put like a whole collage together. And I'm looking at it right now because it's always in the office. But basically, it's crazy because we're 6 months into the year, right? We're in June right now of 2026. And it's crazy to look on that dream board and see so many things that have already come to light. And just like how you're saying about the bank, how you guys put it into the vault and you didn't even remember what you put. And then when you look back, you're like, wow, this actually came to fruition. I think that dream boards are so important, or even having a journal on what you want for the next year, for your life in general, because you can look back and you can realize, wow, this really did come true. This worked. I am living in my own blessing. And here's the proof of it, right? So I just look on my dream board and I'm like, wow, it's crazy to see all the things on the dream board. Like, we have things such as even having business meetings, like business meetings are on there, and friend groups are on there, and going to Florida is on there. We've already done that. Teeth things are on there because I'm getting my Invisalign right now. Like, there's just so many things that we put on there, that even getting my car is on there, and I got my car. So it's just crazy to see when you're able to visualize it and put it into real time, real perspective, how it
comes
shape
together.
Yeah. It's great.
I think it's being intentional too. If we look at it from the perspective of what gets focused on gets done, then being intentional means writing down, putting things on a book or visualizing it allows you to channel all your energy into achieving the end goal. So, sometimes things go awry. Sometimes it doesn't turn out exactly the way you visioned it. But for the most part, I think most people will agree that, visualizing dream boards, being intentional does lead to positive outcomes.
Oh, yes, I agree. The last thing that I wanted to talk about on this podcast, which is kind of like a generalized question, but I think it's a good end point, right? Because we talk about what's happening now, we talk about the past, we're obviously talking about the future and what we're calling into our lives, but it would be fun to say what we want in the next 5 years for us right now and look back on it later. We look back on it later and say, wow, that did happen.
Well, I can go. Couple things for me is, as you know, I'm transitioning into another chapter of my life and trying to build out my own consulting company. And so over the next 5 years, I would like to see that being successful. You know, what does that look like? Having the right group around me, a team that is inspiring, a team that, you know, can add value, not just to the business, but to others, to be able to say that, you know, we are valuable to others and to be able to help them be financially better off in the long run, whether that is understanding investments, whether it's growing their business and so forth. We want to be able to be a part of that journey. So I'm excited about that over the next 5 years.
Yes.
And then the next piece I'm still working on is I do want to do another body show. I want to do a bikini show.
Yes. Maybe I can try and do it with you.
Oh my God. Did you say that out loud?
Oh no!
You said that out. No, it's recording. Let me just double check. Yes, we are recording. You can do well. You've got good structure, so I think you will do well as a bodybuilder. But with that said, it's really for me as I age. I want my muscles to continue growing, and I want to be strong, so I don't have to depend on people to help me move along. Right. So the more I build muscle, the more I engage with myself and my core, it will help me as I grow into a healthy old age.
Yes.
Yeah, so I definitely want to do a body show next year.
I love that. That it is good. It's fun to tell people about, even on my side, like, hey, my mom's doing a body show, because I'll be there for the next one as well, right?
Yes. Because you're on the stage the next
one. We'll see.
You said it.
We will see. Maybe I can do the level below that.
Yeah, the fit model where I started. Yeah.
We'll see. I think for the next 5 years, what I'm dreaming of, or what my next 5 years I would hope would look like, is I really want to build a strong marriage, because in this next year I am getting married, right? In November 9th, to be exact. We are getting married, and I really find that a lot of the times when I'm talking to people, it's sad, but a lot of marriages in those first couple of years tend to, I don't want to say fail. And I don't want that for my marriage. I want to continue to build, and I know that it's hard to obviously build your life around someone and they build their life around you, because you really got to coordinate in what is okay and what's not okay, and your morals are the same and values are the same. And I know throughout the years, different morals and values may come to light that we've never even entered the sector of, and I want to be able to navigate that as best as we can. So I am picturing the next 5 years a very, very strong relationship, because again, we're also building businesses together, right? And I want to make sure that not only is this a relationship, a marriage, but this is like, you're my business partner now, right? So our business success is based on the relationship that we can have in the business world, and as well our marriage world, right? So that's one big thing I want for the next 5 years is for that. That's the main point. The next 5 years, I'm also picturing, well, how old would I be in 5 years? 25 now. I will be 30. So not quite yet retired. I keep saying retirement by 33. I've been saying it for like the last year and a bit, that I'm going to be retired by 33. So I guess I can't say that yet, but that is in the 7-year plan. Is that 7 years? 7-year, 8-year plan. Another thing that I really want for the next 5 years is I'm hoping to purchase our second property. I would love to have this as a rental property, or another place as a rental property, whatever it may be. But I do want to grow larger in our real estate, in our portfolio for that, because obviously down the line, again, this might be in the 5-year plan as well, but children, right? We have been talking about that.
Grandchildren.
We have been talking about that probably in the next 3-4 years, right? To have another addition to the family, right? And I think to do that, we would really like to grow in our living space as well, because on top of that, we're having puppies. So we're going to have a decently, I don't want to say large family, but if you think a puppy and a child, those are two additions that are going to need their big separate spaces, and especially the type of dog we want is larger. And anyway, so those are things that I think go along with wanting a bigger space in general. So we want to grow our portfolio for real estate, and that would be the next big thing in the books that we have been talking about. So I think that can be very achievable in the next 5 years.
The next 5 years. I agree. I think what I'm hearing is continuing to expand your world, to develop with each other, develop that relationship where you're friends, not just spouses, but business partners, but true friendships. I think that's a key piece. And you guys are both people of God, like a man and woman of God, and putting God as your anchor in your life as you build out your goals allows for a stable place to go if things don't always work out. Like we've said before, your faith is a key piece. So to be able to know that God has a big plan for you and Trey, and that, his plan might be even bigger than you can ever imagine. So keeping that flexibility in there allows the God to work in your lives as well.
Yes.
I really love how you plan and your goals, and, you're disciplined in your approach. And as I mentioned, if you don't plan, you don't aim for something, you would hit nothing.
Right.
So you're heading down the right direction. I love it.
Thank you. I love this podcast. This is such a on-brand podcast for us, I believe, because we always talk about the law of attraction, manifestations, things like that. So it was great to come on and talk about it and share it with the rest of the viewers as well, and our listeners, because some people, again, we're building mindsets that maybe have never even had that neural connection to begin with, where, wow, this is a new neural pathway that we're opening up, where, wow, I can think like this. Like, this is a way that I can think. And the last thing I wanted to add is that I find that, again, something I heard from, I think it was a neuroscientist, where they said that the way that your brain works is it will choose the easiest pathway to think, right? And for it to choose the easiest pathway, it's the pathway you take the most, basically. So just as if you think about when you're driving on your way to work, your best route to go. Right? If you stray away from it, it might take you longer, or, you might get lost, whatever it may be. So your brain itself, to protect itself, goes the easiest route. The easiest route is the route that you choose and you make and you practice on a daily basis, right? Again, I don't know if I'm saying that completely right in the scientific form, but I know that what she was saying was in relation to the law of attraction. The way that you think is the way that your brain goes, and therefore outwardly portrays as well. So to change the neural pathways, I think that's the whole point of all of this, is that you're wanting to make a better pathway, an easier pathway, so that my head is not taking the negative route, it's going the positive route. And that's the difference between optimistic and pessimistic thinking, right? Anyways.
Well said. Look at you.
I know, right?
I love it. Thank you so much for taking the time. I know you've got a big day ahead of you.
Yes.
Going out and having some fun. So enjoy yourself. Stay safe.
Of course.
And we'll chat soon.
Okay. Love you, Mommy.
Okay, take care. Love you too, sweetie. Bye-bye.